Hey guys, good evening. Hope everybody is well this evening. Doing wonderfully. And I'm on time. What? Yes, I'm on it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. How's everybody's Monday? Whew. Good thing is, I've been saying this all day. For most of us, we have a full week this week. Next week is a short week. Barbie, right? Yes. Hey, Minister Latasha. Hey, Brother Timothy. Hey, Sister Yolanda. Hey, Sharonda. So, how was your Monday? Hey, Cousin Jenny, tell me. Tell me something good. Tell me something good. What was good about Monday? It went fast. I'll say that. I had a lot of meetings. Mine went fast. We're going to be tonight from First Kings. That's country. We're going to be talking tonight from First Kings chapter 3, verse number 3. Hey, Kalana. Hey, Charlene. Hey, David. Hey, Sandy. Hey, Elder Renee. We're going to jump in right at 9. So let's be ready to get it going. Hey, Minister Joanna. Hey, Karen. Thank you all for joining in. Looking forward to this journey in 2021. Got some exciting things on the horizon, especially for the Monday 9 at 9 crew, because y'all go hard and hang strong. Yep, Yolanda, you woke me up this morning. That's one good thing about Monday. I saw another Monday. Excited about what God is going to do in 2021. Hey, Isonet. And all of you that are not commenting, I can't see your names because I'm not technologically savvy enough to make all that happen at one time. But welcome to Monday 9 at 9, Regina. Sweet Regina, I miss you so much. Hey, Sonia. Cousin, Earl. Horace. Felicia. All right, it's 9 o'clock. Let's go. First Kings chapter 3. Verse number 3. First Kings chapter 3, verse number 3. That loud noise is just my heat. Pay it no mind. In the Message Bible, I'm going to read tonight. Look at this beautiful photo behind me from Crafty, Drayon Morris. This is a custom piece that she made for me based on a request. So y'all please see her. If somebody knows her contact information, tag her. Verse 3 says, Solomon loved God and continued to live in the God-honoring ways of David, his father, except that he also worshiped at local shrines, offering sacrifices and burning incense. And so what I wanted to talk about, hey Penny, what I wanted to talk about is this story of Solomon. And we talk about how wise Solomon was, how rich he was, all that he was able to accomplish. Hey Renata, but the thing about it is, I love this. It says, except that he continued to live in his God-honoring ways, like his father, except that he had this thing. It used to be a song. Y'all don't know nothing about this because y'all are real saved. But you know, it used to say, it's this one thing that got me tripping. It's this one thing that caught me slipping. Yeah, except that. But before we judge Solomon too harshly, don't judge me. I love Jesus. Before we judge Solomon too harshly, let's make sure that we acknowledge that all of us have an except that in our lives. Except that we love God. We honor God with our ways. We walk in our purpose and our calling, except that we're judgmental. Except that we overindulge. Except that we self-medicate. Except that we sin, shame others. Hey, Tennille, except that we lie. Yeah, accept that we're lazy. And all of us haven't accept that in our lives. You guys know I'm a practical application teacher. I believe in teaching the truth and how we can use the truth of the word of God to make our lives better. Accept that. And that's nothing to condemn ourselves for or to allow anybody else to condemn us. But it is something, our accept that is for something for us to, is something for us to deal with and something for us to work on. So the first thing we have to ask ourselves is, what is enabling our accept that? What person, what thing, what excuse, what situation is allowing us to continue in our accept that? Listen, is it somebody or something that's leading us to believe or even telling us that this accept that is okay? Come on now. You know, we have those friends that enable. We have those friends that we call when we want to do wrong. We have those friends that we avoid when we know we should be doing right. See, Solomon had these wives that were leading him into this accept that. And he followed suit with it, even though he honored God with his ways, even though he had a heart that listened to God. But who's telling us that our accept that is okay? And then the other thing I got to ask, is it me that's telling me that my accept that is okay? Yeah, it's okay that I'm like this because of what happened in my childhood. It's okay that I continue in this behavior because I'm under a lot of stress or I'm under a lot of pressure. It's okay if I do this, accept that because of what other people have done. It's in response to that. Is it possibly me that's telling me that it's okay to keep doing it? Or on the flip side, it's okay to not do what God has said for us to do. Am I telling myself that that's okay? It's okay for me to hide this thing. Yeah, this accept that this thing, is it me that's telling me from what environments or situations do we need to remove ourselves from because they are enabling that accept that? Because see, we know where to go when we want to enable our accept that. We know who to be around when we want to enable our accept that. And are we listening to somebody that is telling us? See, there's somebody that's telling us. Somebody, something, some message that's telling us that our accept that is not okay. He had God honoring ways. Accept that. He also worshiped that local shrine. See, God will reveal our accept that to us one way or the other. Somebody will tell us, or God will reveal it to us in his word. God is going to show us that our accept that is not okay. Are we listening to that? The second thing is, how do I deal with my accept that? Because all of us have one. Don't play yourself, sis. Don't play yourself, bro. You got to accept that. You may honor God. You may be wonderful. You may be blessed, highly favored, tongue talking, shouting, Bible thumping, running, screaming, whatever. But we all have an accept that. So let's be clear about that. I have an accept that, more than one. I have accept that. The first thing is to admit it. Admit it to ourselves. Like, self-awareness is a huge thing with the people of God. We are not self-aware about the things that we do that we know we should not do, or the things that we should do we shouldn't. The way that we are that we know we shouldn't be, or the way that we should be that we don't walk in. First of all, admit it to ourselves. The second, bring it before God. That's how we deal with it. Admit it to ourselves, bring it before God. This is where I want to hang my hat, though. You have no obligation to reveal your accept that to anybody else. Yeah, most of the time people know it. You know, they know some of them, at least, if I accept that. But I don't have an obligation to reveal to you what my accept that is. Or, you know, in the old church, you know, you had to come before the church with your accept that. You know, I go here to this church, accept that I do this. No. The other, admit it to ourselves, to God, no obligation to reveal it to anybody else. And then we got to study in the word. And the reason we need to go to the word to deal specifically with that thing, because see, if you're anything like me and you know you got to accept that, you avoid that in the word. You know, they say in the country, we say a two-edged sword, two-edged. Yeah, that's what we say in the country. The Bible is like a two-edged, it cuts, it hurts. So a lot of times we avoid in the word that word that addresses our accept that, but that's not the way to deal with it. Make sure we go to the word and study it. We should make a consistent rebellion against our inclinations that are not like God. Consistently rebel against it. Not like the idiots in the Capitol. Not that kind of rebellion, but I digress. But we must consistently rebel against our inclinations that are not like God by studying it in the Word. See, listen, this is where I want to make sure I land us tonight, because you know I'm your biggest cheerleader. You know I'm on your side if nobody else is cheering. Don't forget that your accept that. Don't forget that my accept that is not an exclusion from favor. Yeah, because even with that accept that, Solomon still delighted God. I didn't make it up because the word of God said it. God delighted in Solomon. God found favor in Solomon, even with his accept that. So don't let anybody convince you that your exceptions outweigh God's love for you. Nah. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. My accept that's, my shortcomings, my stumblings, my areas where I still need development do not outweigh God's love for me. Remember, David was a man after God's own heart, except that he was a murderer. Remember that Abraham was the father of many nations, except that he was a liar. Remember that Jacob was blessed beyond measure, except that he was a trickster. Remember that Peter was the rock upon which God built his church, except that he was a cusser. That's me. That's my issue. I'm working on it. Pray for me. Except that does not mean that you can't be healed. Because somebody out there tonight, the Lord told me, is thinking that you're not getting healed right in this moment because of your accept that, because of your shortcomings. No. That's not how God works. God does require obedience. God does require that we work every day to get better. But if I attempt to walk upright and I get better every day, don't think that just because I don't hit everything, there's none perfect but one. Just because I got an accept that don't mean that you can't be healed. Don't mean that you can't be used. Doesn't mean that you can't be blessed. It does not mean that you are not anointed. I know the church folks don't like that. All of us have an accept that. We got to deal with it. We just got to deal with it. We got to work on it. We can't wallow in it and lay in it. But all of us have an accept that. What is my accept that? It doesn't negate God's love for me. It's 9 at 9. I love y'all.